Now 5 o'clock, I will call the meeting of the Waxahachie Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Please let the record show that 6 trustees are in attendance and that Mr. Schofield will be joining us at a later time. Also, please let the record show that this meeting has been duly called and the notice of this meeting has been duly posted for time and manner required by law. At this time, we will go into closed session according to Section 551.001 et sec of the Texas Government Code. It is now 5 p.m. reconvene back into open session. At this time, I'll ask Mr. McCutcheon to lead us in our invocation, followed by our pledges by Abel Rose, Andrew Calden, and Ellie McCutcheon.
Okay, let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many blessings that you bestowed upon us. Please be with us tonight and help us to make sound decisions for the District of Waxahachie. We especially want to lift up Sandy King and her family as she lost her husband yesterday. Please be with them, comfort them, and let them know we're thinking of them. We ask all these things in your son's name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
And we're going to take a quick picture of our pledge leaders. So if you guys will come just right here. And we've got people who are going to come down. Great job, you guys. Thank you for being here, guys.
Are you going to text Mom?
Our vision is to be a district where innovation thrives and growth is limitless.
We value choices because they make us as unique and are critical to learning.
We value a collaborative culture that honors and supports all who positively impact the lives of our students.
We value an environment of belonging that respects individual differences and ensures equality for all.
We value relationships that broaden learning experiences and enrich our community.
Okay, we have several recognitions tonight. We may have to go and out of order as listed, and that's in your board book. Ms. Bridges, I'm going to let you pick the order that we go in, okay?
That is great. I'm just trying to figure out who has everyone here. Do you have everyone here? Okay.
We're missing one or two. We're missing one.
Okay. Miss Griffith. Where's Miss Griffith? Are you guys good? Okay. Then I'm going to invite Brittany Griffith, principal of Felty Elementary, to come up. Thank you, Miss Griffith.
There you go. Okay. All right. Good evening, board. I'm Brittany Griffith. I'm the principal at Felty Elementary, and tonight I have the honor of recognizing one of our staff members and to also share with you all the great things happening at Felty. Tonight, Felty is recognizing Mrs. Emily Caldwell. Mrs. Caldwell is receiving the Felty Above and Beyond Award, as this describes her and what she stands for. Mrs. Caldwell serves as our SPED department lead. She has a servant's heart as a leader on her team and is very respected by everyone on campus. She jumps in and takes the lead to make sure her students' needs are taken care of, as well as her team. She works hard to have cohesion on her team, as well as collaborate between special education and general education. She lives out a collaborative culture on our campus where the belief is, where she believes in all students in learning. She jumps in where needed and has helped out from covering classes when we were short this year to even serving as a crossing guard at times as needed. I'm so thankful to have her on my team and to get the chance to honor her tonight. Congratulations, Miss Emily Caldwell. Okay, and now to share with you some great things happening at Felty Elementary. At Felty, we live out our vision to be a school where innovation thrives and growth is limitless. We believe that growth is limitless for everyone. That includes our staff, our students, and for our families. Several Felty staff members this year have been recipients of the Grow Your Own grant. This is a grant offered to staff members, such as paras, who are pursuing a teaching degree or teaching certification. This spring, Felty has 2 paras that received this grant. We're excited for them and this opportunity as they pursue further education and fulfill their dream of becoming a teacher. We support their endeavors to grow themselves and look forward to them completing their degrees and moving into classrooms of their own, hopefully at Felty. Both are hardworking and deserving. And they are not the only staff members at Felty who are growing and have received this very grant. 2 of our own teachers, Shelley Smith and Mary Schuler, have previously received this grant. Not only were they able to complete their degree and obtain a teaching position with the help of this grant, they continue to grow in their profession and impact those around them. And then we have also that have received the Continuing Education Scholarship, and it's another way our staff has limitless growth in pursuing other educational career opportunities. 2 of our Felty teachers, Jamie Brewer and Bridget Glass, are continuing to grow and have received this scholarship to help them with further educational pursuits. And that's just a few of our staff members. At Felty, we believe that growth is limitless for our students as well. One way that our student growth is lived out is through a culture of collaboration. Students have grown this year through their academic endeavors. In academic UIL this year, Felty was the first place overall in both the 2nd and 3rd grade teams. In addition to the top team finishes, you can see listed all of the individual accomplishments across different events. This was also in a year where we were coming back to UIL, had a short practice window, and worked through other challenges. Our campus will celebrate the success of our students with a campus-wide UIL ceremony this coming week. And while these accomplishments are great, we believe that growth is limitless. So be looking for Felty students to accomplish even more in UIL next year. Another aspect of student growth through collaboration is our house system. This year, our counselor and house committee integrated aspects of Ron Clark's house system that had been in place at Felty with PBIS. We started off the year with a sense of belonging with all of our students participating in a house selection day. You may even recognize a familiar face who was able to slide with us that day into our house system. Students learn about the Felty 25, which are positive character traits, and earn house tickets through displaying the behaviors. Through our 8 house colors, students collaborate to win House of the Week, Month, and the ever-important bragging rights of House of the Year. However, it is more than just winning. Through our house meetings, students are able to give back through a partnership with a local nursing home. and then also our community. At Felty, our community relationships are an integral part of our culture. Through campus-wide events, we have huge family and community support and turnout. Last fall, our 5th grade veterans program was very moving as we invited veterans to join us in a chance to honor them, and our 5th graders led them through a walk of honor through our hallways. In addition to great programs, our community events such as our Fall Festival and Christmas Parade of Lights give us a chance to include our community in the great things happening at Felty. None of this would be possible without the hard work and support of our amazing PTO. It is through a collaboration with them that we are able to grow our students, staff, and community. We have a wonderful campus of belonging and collaboration. Other great things you see pictured are our weekly college days, or as I like to call them, Aggie days. Our daily dads at the door who volunteer every day to greet our students and start their day off on a positive note. Felty continues to be a wonderful place to learn and grow. Through a culture of collaboration with our staff, students, and families, we have a sense of belonging and live out our vision that growth is limitless for our students, our staff, and our community. Thank you for your time, and stay tuned as Felty continues to shine as we learn and grow. Thank you.
Board, thank you for your patience as we work through this. Next, I'm going to invite Melissa Abity to come up and talk to y'all about our Destination Imagination teams.
Good evening, Board and Dr. Hollingsworth. We value choices because they make us unique and are critical for learning. And one area that we give choices to our students is the opportunity to participate in Destination Imagination. Destination Imagination is a creative, team-focused STEAM competition for students in grades K through 12 and at the university level. Sabrina Ballard is here to join me tonight, and she is one of our advanced academics coordinators as well as a coordinator for our DI events. Sabrina is doing an outstanding job communicating, preparing, and organizing, and working with the coaches and the students to make sure they're able to put their best foot forward as DI competitors at our levels. Thank you, Ms. Ballard, for all your efforts. A few weeks ago, Midlothian ISD hosted our regional DI tournaments where 186 teams competed with over 1,000 students there. WISD had 14 teams participate in this competition, bringing home 7 awards, one including an award called the Da Vinci Award, and it's given to only one team out of all 1,000 students. We also have one team moving forward to our state competition on Saturday. So at this time, we would like to honor these students who's placed. So for 5th place in Scientific Up Close with the Da Vinci Award, also from Wedgeworth Elementary, we have Wedgeworth Questionnaires with Claudia Gutierrez as our team manager.
All right, the questionnaires, here they are. Come on in. Get your picture. Any other Wedgeworth questionnaires out here? I think one's coming.
This team not only placed 5th place in the Scientific Up Close competition, they also won the Da Vinci Award. This award is named in honor of one of humanity's greatest creative thinkers, Leonardo da Vinci. This award is given for having a unique approach to a solution for taking risk, for outstanding creativity, and not necessarily skill or talent. Congratulations, Wedgeworth Questionnaires. Our next group to honor is 5th place in Improv Festival Frenzy from Shackleford Elementary. We have Team Chrome Dinosaur Girls, led by manager Amy McCleskey. Team Chrome Dinosaur Girls, right here. Next, in fourth place in Service Learning for the Future from Wildman STEAM Academy, we have Team Strikers Unite with team managers Jonathan and Cindy Wiedemann. Next, in fourth place in Scientific Up Close from Wildman STEAM Academy, we have Team Exploding Stars with team manager Haley Osborne. Next up, in third place in Technical Dare and Escape from Shackleford Elementary, we have Team 5 Sci Guys with team manager Amy McCleskey. In first place and moving to state DI competition on Saturday in Fine Arts of Tricky Tales from Findlay Junior High and Dunaway Elementary, we have Team Soaring Eagles with team manager Dawn Renee Woodyat. We are so proud of our 14 WISD DI teams competing this year. Good luck, Soaring Eagles, as you represent us well on Saturday in Arlington. Thank you.
Great job, you guys.
Look, we're Eagles. It says we're Eagles.
I'm so sorry. I was giving you wrong information.
Send one to me, please, sir. Another time? Yeah. That's last. You vote?
Good evening, Board. Dr. Hollingsworth. Due to some unforeseen scheduling circumstances on the part of our candidate here, we appreciate the opportunity that you've given us tonight.
Dr. Benskin, wait 1 second. Can we get the right slide up, Joe, for, I don't want to miss out. This is a big deal, what we're about to do. This is our graduate. This is our graduate, Lexi. Lexi? Yeah. This is our graduate, Lexi. We need to get her slide up. We want to put her slide up. Please, sir. We'll get it, Lexi. We've got one. That's right. It's a big deal. Look at there. All right. Dr. Benskin, go ahead, sir.
Dr. Hollingsworth, I am pleased to present to you Lexi Jubilee Holst-Meanley. I have certified that she has met the requirements of the Texas Education Agency and Waxahachie Independent School District, and she should be awarded the appropriate diploma at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Benskin. To you, Lexi Jubilee Holst-Meanley, I extend my warmest congratulations and wishes for a happy and successful future. Congratulations.
Trustees and our superintendent. You'll fill in between, yeah, there you go. Sorry, I'm sorry. Excuse me. All right. Board, next I'd like to invite Ms. Tanya Harris, principal of Waxahachie High School, to come up and make a recognition.
Good evening, Board, Dr. Hollingsworth, Dr. Everett, Ms. Mott. Tonight, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce Maven Navarro. Maven is being honored tonight for our National Hispanic Scholar. Maven has a 5.435 GPA. She is ranked 34th in her class. She is the student body vice president, newspaper editor, NHS officer. She has been the captain for musical theater dance program for 4 years. She has played varsity tennis for 4 years. She has advanced to state and UIL academics. Maven plans to attend the University of Alabama and double major in journalism and economics. Congratulations, Maven.
Board, next I'd like to invite Melissa Abity to come back to talk about some of, we need to scroll way through, sorry. Some of our STEAM Expo participants and sponsors.
Good evening again, Board and Dr. Hollingsworth. Joining me tonight is Teresa Smithy and Ashley Sierri, who are two instrumental individuals to make the magic happen for the WISD STEAM Expo. We could not have this event without these two individuals working alongside the rest of our team. So thank you for all of your hard work. We value relationships that broaden learning experiences and enrich our community. We are honored tonight to celebrate the effort, support, and dedication given to make the WISD STEAM Expo the largest to date this year. It fills me with joy every time we can bring our schools, homes, and communities together to showcase and celebrate learning. Our district truly shines as a whole team with this project. We would like to thank our key Expo players at this time. Our Curriculum and Instruction Department prepares, sets up twice this year, thanks to the ICE, and supports campuses and volunteers from the start to the end of this event. Our Support Services Department works tirelessly to fulfill every need. Oftentimes, before we know it's going to be a need, they are there and ready. Andy, Geronimo, and Stephen are living examples of collaboration and teamwork for this event. Our security department comes together to execute a safe plan that begins as soon as the first vendor arrives to the property. Our technology team walks alongside each vendor and volunteer to support every step of the way for tech needs. Our district leadership encourages and excites their campuses leading up to the event and helps host their families at the expo. And our teachers, in turn, excite their students and host hands-on activities for all to enjoy. Thank you, WISD, for shining so brightly. The other key players in the WISD STEAM Expo are our valued community and national sponsors. These sponsors champion STEAM education and WISD by committing to provide services and supplies, manpower, awards and prizes, student competitions, student experiences, hosting high-quality interactive booths, and being a positive influence in our community for STEM education. We truly appreciate all the sponsors and look forward to growing these partnerships moving forward. This year, we were blessed with 28 STEAM Expo sponsors, totaling right at $40,000 in contributions to our event. That is 10 Moon sponsor levels at $100 plus, 11 Planet sponsorship levels at $1,000 plus, and 7 Galaxy sponsors at $3,000 plus. Tonight, we would like to recognize our Galaxy level sponsors now. We'll start with Community National Bank and Trust of Texas. Next, we have And More Media. And next we have Gateway Mortgage. And next we have Americase, John Houston Homes, Quest, and Sphero, who are not able to join us tonight but want to show our appreciation for them. Thank you. You know, it's always hard when you have so many people doing great things that recognitions take this long. We've got a couple more, so thank y'all for being patient with us. Next, I'd like to invite Derek Zant, principal of Findlay Junior High, to come up.
Thank you, Dr. Hollingsworth and Board of Trustees, for allowing me to be here to present my Warrior of the Week and show off some of the great things going on at Findlay Junior High. Ms. Davis is my secretary, but she is also the work mom to the whole school. She takes care of us all. She goes above and beyond her job description and responsibilities to ensure Findlay staff are taken care of. She is one of the most hardworking and loyal staff members on our campus. I can always count on Ms. Davis. I appreciate her so much and proud to recognize her as our Warrior of the Week. Campus highlight. Okay, we value our staff, and one of the things we implemented this year was instead of monthly appreciations, we moved them to weekly. This goes to any staff member on the Findlay campus. It gives us an opportunity to recognize a staff member for their hard work and dedication. Our Findlay staff superlatives this year were Ms. Hutchinson as Teacher of the Year, Ms. Gallus, our Rookie of the Year, and Ms. Lambert, our Support Staff of the Year. We value our community. The City of Waxahachie Public Works and Engineering Department spoke and demonstrated to our CTE classes over how water affects the soil. The students loved the opportunity and were able to interact with them and be able to learn at the same time. We also had a group of students visit the Senior Citizen Center and played bingo during Christmas time. It was a fun servant leadership experience for all our students. Mr. Philip Brown, owner of Chick-fil-A in Waxahachie, continues to sponsor Findlay's Chick-fil-A Leadership Group, where 10 boys and 10 girls are nominated by teachers at the beginning of the year, and they get the opportunity to attend meetings and learn from their leadership team at Chick-fil-A. They are also in the planning stages of leading a servant project in the community. We value choices. Many of the staff members at Findlay have grown in the area of STEM instruction and have volunteered at the STEM Expo. We had a total of 6 booths and over 15 teachers help out. We strive for students to be involved, and we try to plug all students into some sort of activity or club. We believe that if they are involved, they will come to school daily. Our UIO academic participation was a highlight with an increase in student involvement from last year. Very proud of all of our students and staff that go above and beyond to make Findlay a great experience. And then last, growth is limitless. This picture here represents the staff members that are currently working on their NICE certification. I'm excited about the dedication and time they have committed in working towards this certification. I have 4 that have already completed it and have numerous that are on the verge of finishing it. It is a great feeling as a principal to be able to say, this is great for students, and they all buy in. Very proud of this group and the rest of the staff that will be joining next year. And then thank you, Board of Trustees, for all your support throughout the school year. Thank y'all.
Board, finally this evening, I'd like to invite Mr. Gomez to come up and recognize some support staff service members.
Good evening, Waxahachie ISD board members and Dr. Hollingsworth. It is always a great day at WISD Support Services when we get to recognize the people that make my department great. First, let me start out with our Support Services Secretary, Ana Castañeda. Ana's been with us since August of 2020, and our department has flourished with her willingness to always lend a helping hand. I am thankful for everything she does for our employees. Ana, you are amazing. Next, we have the voice of support services, Sarah Bridges. Sarah is the lady on the other end of the phone that answers, "It's a great day at Waxahachie ISD Support Services. May I help you?" Sarah, I enjoy coming to work every morning and being greeted by your smile. Thanks for always brightening up everybody's day. And now to introduce our next group, Trade Supervisor, Mr. Andy Reeves.
Thank you, sir. Are we going? There we go. Good evening, everybody. First off, thank you for letting us come up here and praise and honor these folks. It truly means a lot. For my department, I chose 2 guys that everybody knows. You might not know their names, but I guarantee you've seen them at countless schools across this district. Everybody knows their smiling faces and their willingness to help with anything. They truly are my right and left hand. They both have the kind of core values that every employer is looking for out of an employee. Both of them have a mountain of integrity and an unbelievable work ethic. Quite frankly, I don't know what I'd do without them. They are lead plumber Frank Medina and lead carpenter Carmen Gonzalez. Again, thank you for letting us shine some light on these incredible people. Now I'll hand it off to Stephen Mott with Grounds and Projects.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Hollingsworth. I'm here to recognize 2 of my employees for their exceptional work for the 2021 school year. I chose to show of each of the core values displayed by these men on a daily basis. Julio Salazar. Julio makes choices each and every day that help him to make sure that he is doing what is best for the campus or building they are working on at that time to be unique to his team. Julio collaborates with many different trades in his day at work, such as mowing all the campuses, fixing irrigation, and welding things for signs and such like that, and he knows that his impact on the students. Julio has also been recently put in charge of a new large mower group. Julio has been one that has worked with each of the current three mowing groups and has valued them and their differences in operation. Julio is always willing to learn new things that will help him to broaden his ability to do things that will help the district become a better place. Thank you, Julio. Arturo Cervantes, he's not able to be here tonight due to the bad weather, but Arturo's choices in maintaining outdoor athletic facilities shows in his high-quality facilities that the district has throughout. Due to his work, students who choose athletics get to participate in a high-quality, well-taken-care of facilities for them and their parents to enjoy. Arturo works with many different teams to make sure he has the playing surfaces and areas around ready for competition. On home football Fridays, he will collaborate with the other 13 grounds team members to make sure Lumpkin Stadium is ready to positively impact the players, students in the stands, and the fans. Arturo is one that is treated by the coaches as being part of the team. He treats each and every team that plays in one of our outdoor facilities the same and gives them and their facility the best he can. Arturo is always willing to learn new things, techniques from others, and that will help him broaden his ability to do things better and help the district become a better place. Thank you, Arturo. Next will be Geronimo, Supervisors HVAC and General Maintenance.
Good evening, school board members, Dr. Hollingsworth. The two men on my team that I want to thank and recognize are Jonathan Remines and Roderick Henderson. These two men are invaluable to me for their willingness to do whatever it's needed for our school district. They have both answered calls from me early in the morning or late in the evening to go above their job descriptions for last-minute changes or after our events. The teamwork and sense of calibration that these men show on a daily basis for our school district is deeply appreciated. Here is Ms. Ruthie Valles, Supervisor of our Custodial Department.
Good evening, everyone. It is an honor for our custodian department to have some of the custodians here today. They're hard workers, and they take everything that it takes for them to become this year a better place in our district. No matter how big a crowd can be, a person like you always stands out. Thank you for all your hard work at Finley Junior High. As a lead custodian, they are so proud to have you. I would like to call at this time Azucena Chavez. It's great to work with such a devoted and exciting person. Thank you for the support that you have shown as a lead custodian at Clift Elementary. I would like to call at this time Paola Barros. Global High are very thankful to have a great custodian like you that always goes the extra mile. It is a pleasure to have you as an evening custodian at this campus. I would like to call at this time Maria Calzoncin. Last but not least, it's not the hours you put into your work that counts. It's the work you put in each hour to make Northside one of the best campus it is. I would like to call Maria Torres for her great job.
This concludes our staff recognitions. Thanks for allowing us the opportunity. I have been informed by staff that this is the first time that our department has recognized its outstanding employees in front of the board, so thank you.
I just want to make sure I didn't leave out any recognitions, right? Anyone want to be recognized that wasn't recognized? Okay. Thank you, Board and Dr. Hollingsworth.
Okay, next item on our agenda is item number 5, open forum. This is the portion of the board meeting where the board receives input from our patrons. Each person who addresses the board will have 5 minutes to speak on his or her issue. Because of posting requirements for Open Meetings Act, board members will not ask questions of the patron nor answer any questions posed by the patron. No action can be taken on any issue presented during patron comment section of the board meeting. Patrons addressing the board will be notified when they are approaching the last 60 seconds of the allotted time to speak. When I call your name, please step to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Ms. Ashley Ford.
Good evening, Board. Ashley Ford, address 155 Lakeside Drive, Waxahachie. Last time I was here at this podium, it was August 2019, and I was leaving the Daily Light, and I was thanking y'all for letting me inside your schools and spreading all the wonderful things going on. And now I'm here to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to work for y'all. Little did I know when I left the Daily Light, 4 months later, I'd be working in this building in the office that once belonged to Mike Morgan. And my journey with the district has come to a close. My last day is Friday. I have moved on to a marketing position, and I wouldn't have been able to move forward in my career if it wasn't for the opportunity that's been given to me with the school district. I've not only been able to fulfill my duties on paper, but all other duties assigned, and I have grown exponentially, and I'm just so thankful for all the opportunities that y'all given to me, all of the support that y'all have given to me. My first summer working in the district, we work the extended hours, and so there's a lot of time to chat and get to know each other, and that's when I really felt that we were a family. And then that feeling of a family just grew even more, when life circumstances come up and you have someone to lean on, to cry to go to. You might be confused with what's going on in life. You might have a breakup. Jenny's been really great. She's been really great. She's been my mama. And so I just wanted to thank y'all so much for everything. It's been wonderful being in the hallways and promoting the wonderful things going on in the district. With Dr. Hollingsworth here, I just see the culture of the district continue to grow and be more positive and really embody the old and the new, and really great things are ahead of us as we all buy into these core values. I feel like we've already bought into them because they're in our blood. It's that Hatchie. And so just really great things are ahead, and I wouldn't be able to be where I am now if it wasn't for every single one of y'all and everyone in the district. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. Okay, next item will be item number 6. Tonight we'll be holding a public hearing to discuss a 2020-2021 TAPER, Texas Academic Performance Report. Following the presentation, we will invite the public to approach the podium and provide any input on the subject at hand. The public hearing will begin with a presentation by Mrs. Dawn Hilburn, Director of Assessment and Accountability. Ms. Hilburn?
Well, good evening, Board and Dr. Hollingsworth. It's always exciting to get up here and present to you all the data, good data that the district has had over the past year. So I'm here to present to you the Waxahachie ISD TAPER report, which is your Texas Academic Performance Report. So this is based off last school year. And so I'm going to condense it a little bit tonight because I know I got for you that 8-page report, which I'm sure you looked at and go, holy moly, this is a lot of information. So we're going to condense that tonight. And then if you have any questions at the end, then I'll be glad to answer those. So truly, what is the TAPER? It pulls together all types of student information in every district and every campus in the state of Texas. It comes out every year for those campuses. What does it tell us and what does it give us? There's student information, so it breaks things down into student populations, your STAR data, your EOC, from your dyslexic students to 504, ELs, all that different thing. It also breaks down staff info from our percentages based off, maybe teachers or educational aides and things like that. It breaks down salaries, percentages of those different types of positions. It also talks about programs. You have your bilingual ESL, you have CTE, you have gifted and talented special education. So it breaks down a plethora of information. And so this next, let me get to it. So really, COVID has changed things a lot. I don't probably need to tell you that. But as you can see this slide right here, this is what would come up if you went to TA and pulled up the TAPER report. It will tell you 2021 accountability rating not rated and declared state of disaster. So we've had that 2 years in a row. What would typically be there, if you remember back to 2018, I guess it would be, when districts and schools had A through F. And so every district got an A, B, C, D, or F. And so this is what's replaced that right now. Next year when I'm back up here talking to you, we will talk about A through F again. So that will be back in effect for this coming year. But then the next year when I'm back up here, it's going to change again. If you haven't already heard, STAR's changing next year. Only 75% of it can be multiple choice. The other part are going to be new item types, and accountability is going to change next year. So we've got two things that are changing. But again, we're declared state of disaster, everybody across the state, both districts and campuses. Then you also have on there with special education determination status, we all have these acronyms. It's based off RDA. What is RDA? It's results-driven accountability. It's more those compliance issues that we have to meet. When I spoke to you last year, we needed improvement. This year, we meet requirements. So kudos to our special education department for bringing that up. The other part was distinctions and designations. What truly is distinctions and designations? It compares schools. This is what I like about it. It compares apples and apples and not apples and oranges. So if I'm on a campus, my district or my campus would be compared to 40 schools just like me. And then I can see how I did. And it based it on master's level on STAR. It does attendance, SAT, AP, and all those things. So that would be another thing that you would see on that first page. This next page is what I was talking about staff information. And so when you look at it, I did a count. I did WISD percentages and state percentages. So I'm not going to go through that whole list, but if you went through it, we're within 2 percentage points of what the state is. So that tells us WISD is on the mark in our different positions that we have within the district. Then you have teachers by years of experience. And this is what it tells me and what I always like to focus on. If you pay attention to the 6 to 10 years, 11 to 20, and over 20 years, and you do a comparison to the state, we are by far exceeding the state. So what that tells me is once we get teachers that come to WISD, they want to stay here and they're committed to our district. So that's always a great thing. Next part here is breaking down the student information like I was talking to you about. You can look at some of those things, you know, how many students are 504s, how many students are ELs, how many students are dyslexia. We can see some of those. And just to go back on that a little bit, what is economically disadvantaged students? Those are those students that are free and reduced lunch. Those numbers across the state are a little lower than they've been in the past. Why? If you remember when COVID came out, every student across the state was able to get a free lunch. And so parents did not have to turn in those applications. And so sometimes across, for us and for other districts, those numbers were a little bit lower. One of the other things is ELs, and so remember those are students that their primary language is other than English. And what you can tell is you think our percentages would actually go up. In a lot of areas, they have gone down. You have your Title I campuses, and so what is that? Those are those funds to assist those low socioeconomic students so we can get them on the same playing field as everyone else. And of course, you have your at-risk students. And so those are the percentage of students that are at risk of dropping out of school. And that's something that we always want to pay attention to. And there's 14 indicators, and a student has to hit one of those to reach that. Also on the right-hand side, of course, I don't have to tell you that we're growing, but when TAPER came out, we were 9,668 students. And I actually pulled this data back in January when TAPER came out, and at that point, we were 10,129. Here's a celebration for next year. We had, or last year. We have a lot of them, but I'm excited about this. Federally, we have to hit 95% participation rate for students taking STAR, TELPAS, STAR Alt. If you don't, it's kind of one of those red flags going, what is WISD doing? If you look at the bottom portion in blue, in 2019, our participation rate was 100%. And I'm sure it was like that 99.5, 99.6. It was rounded to 100%. Great, that's what we always need to do. But remember, last year is a COVID year where a large percentage of our students that started off were at home, and then we changed to that November timeframe and having students back face-to-face. It paid dividends right here. Because when you compare it to the state, look at the state. They were at 88% last year. Region 10 was at 92%, and WISD was at 98% participation rate during a COVID year. Y'all, that's something to be proud of, and kudos to our principals and our campuses and our APs for getting students there. And I will tell you, you see that other that says 1%, those were the students that we were able truly to code as COVID, that they had a medical reason not to be at school. This next part, I want to do a quick reflection and tutorial on what happens when STAR results come in. So when they come in, yes, it's a number, but it breaks down into 4 categories. One of them is a student did not meet the standard. The second one is approaches. So that's the minimum level that the student has to meet. And what does that truly mean? When that score comes back and a teacher or a principal sees approaches, that student's probably going to need targeted academic intervention, okay? The next thing is meets, and so we're right there in the middle. So they're still probably going to need some short-term intervention, but we're beyond the minimum of what we need to do at our grade level. And then you have masters. So those kiddos are our top kiddos, and they're going to have little to no academic intervention that they're going to need. One of the other reasons that you kind of need to know this is going to be on my next slides, but I know you've heard the thing called House Bill 4545. And if a student gets do not meet, what happens? They're required now by the state that they have to have 30 hours. And it used to be the word we called intervention. Now it's acceleration. But each of those students have to have 30 hours acceleration. So that's why it's also important to know these terms. And then they have to have accelerated learning committees for grades 3, 5, and 8 for the reading and math. And so when you see scores come in now, you can kind of say, hey, I know what that means. And so this also goes into the next part. And so this is how I did this to try to help you out. I did all grades. So this is all grades reading. So on the left-hand side, you can see this is for STAR grades 3 through 8, and then we have English 1 and English 2 for our 9th and 10th graders. So everything that is a dark color, the dark blue, the dark red, and the dark green is 2019 data. Anything that is the light color is 2021 data, so you can do a little comparison. Now that I went over the approaches, meets, and masters, the blue is the approaches, the red is the meets, and then the green is the masters. And so when you go look at all this data, I look at two things. I look at how do we do compared to 2019, but I also look at how do we compare to how the region did. I don't typically compare us to the state, and I'll show you why a little bit later. Our demographics don't match up real good with the state. They match up better with the region. And so when I look at this, when I go to highlight, I highlight things that are green that we grew in. I highlight things in yellow that we did the same, and then I highlight things in pink that we went down a little bit in. And so you can also see in the columns, you have state, then you have Region 10, and then you have district, and then you have the student populations that's broken down. And so you can see on the far left-hand side, 2 or more, and then you see the SPED population. We went up in our approaches, and we also stayed the same in our meets for reading. And then when you compare, if you look at the column 2 and column 3, when you compare us for approaches to the region, we were 4% better. We did 4% better than the region did for approaches. Then you go down to meets, we did 1% better. And then you look at masters, we just went down 1%. So overall, reading was right there in the hunt. Then we look at math. And you always think, there was a study done for Hurricane Katrina kiddos. They did a study to how long does it take to get kids back on target, for example, after COVID. They said reading could take up to 4 years. The study ran out after 4 years, and they didn't know how long it took kiddos to do math. The reason I tell you this is because I want you to look at these percentages. If you look at all of these across, nearly every student population increased in an area. Remember, look at the bars that are the lighter color. If they're taller than a darker color, we made improvements. And then if you go do a comparison to the Region 10, 2021 approaches, we were 7% higher in approaches than the region. If you look at meets, we did go down 2%, and then we were the same in masters. But those are the celebrations that you look at when you say, look at our student populations. They're all increasing, so we're growing. And everything is all about growth. The next one is science. And so this is for grades 5 and 8, and then it's for biology for our 9th graders. Again, you can look at the comparison to the region. So approaches, we were 1% higher. For meets, we were 5% higher. And then for masters, we were 1% higher. That was, for me, I look at it and it's green, green, green. That's a kudos. That's a win for us. And then you start looking at some of the different percentages, a +3, a +3, a +2, when you break down the student populations and look at the African-American population. The white population went up. 2 or more races went up. The special education population went up, and so did economically disadvantaged. So again, a great year for science as well. And then the last one that we're going to look at as far as STAR is our social studies. And this one knocked it out of the park. This is one of those that we've struggled the last couple of years. But again, all greens. Approaches was 6% higher. Meets was 7% higher. And masters was 5% higher. So green, green, green. Every one of these except for one. So if you look at the district, all 3 of those bars are taller, the light color. If you look at African American, all 3 are taller. Same thing for Hispanic. The white population did 2 of the 3. The SPED population did all 3. And economically disadvantaged did all 3. So social studies came out on top when we look at growth. And you probably thought I was going to get up here today and go, oh, what data are we getting? We probably didn't grow anywhere. Y'all, during the COVID year when our kids were already struggling, or a lot were at home and our teachers were struggling, these are a lot of celebrations to look at. And then the last side
Dawn, I just want to pause and add in there as the new guy coming in, that is a huge deal that in the midst of all the challenges that we've had, and I would give kudos to this board and to the administration before I got here for having the commitment to having kids in class, in school. That's a big, big deal to y'all, and that's one of the reasons that Waxahachie has seen growth when so many others saw declines. So that's a huge, huge kudos.
And I think a big part of that's that participation in kids who are at school. So yes, thank you, board. So the last slide is the graduation profile. So this is what we call it in the data world is a lagging indicator. And so it's a year behind, basically. So when we look at this data, this isn't 2021 graduates, this is 2020 graduates. And so just some highlights of this. This is any student that would have graduated in 2020. That can even be in the summer. That could even be an early graduate that graduated as an 11th grader. But just to look at some comparisons here, the total number of graduates we had in 2020 were 631. And then you go below that and it breaks it down by ethnicity. But if you look over the right-hand side, it does a comparison. This is the reason why I don't necessarily compare us to the state and I compare us to the region, because our demographics are a lot different from the state. If you go down and look at this, our graduating percentages for African American was 14.4. The state was 12.4. You go down, Hispanic was 34.2. The state's at 51.1. Then you go down to the white population. The district's at 47.2. The state's at 29.2. So you see why I try to do that apples and apples comparisons when we look at that. You also have the graduation types below that. And so it breaks things down is you have the foundation high school program with no endorsement. Just a reminder, what is an endorsement? That's where a kid can earn a public service endorsement, business and industry. They can do STEM, multidisciplinary. That probably refreshes, think about what that is. And so those students didn't get that. The next part, though, they did get an endorsement. And so the first part was 21.9%, then 1.9% got an endorsement. The last part is foundation high school program with DLA. What is DLA? It's distinguished level of achievement. What does that mean? Those students went the extra mile and they got their fourth math and they fourth science, plus they got their endorsement. And so a majority of our kids are graduating with that at 75.6%. So that's another kudos. And then, of course, it breaks down information into the number of percentages of our special education graduates to our at-risk graduates. And look at that bottom percentage. Remember, at risk, those students are in jeopardy of not dropping out. We had 43.1% of our at-risk kiddos graduate. So that's another kudos to all the work that teachers and administrators put in to make sure we get those kids to walk across the stage. And so again, that was a brief overview. I know you had the other packet with you. So at this time, does anybody have any questions that I can answer for you, or maybe wasn't quite clear when I went over it?
Go ahead, Ms. Kriegel.
I just have one, Don. I'm sorry, Ms. Hilbert. The economically disadvantaged graduates, they're not still automatically at-risk graduates in the day they used to be.
There's 14 indicators they have to hit, and I'll be honest, that's not I have a list of them for you.
Okay.
There you go, Mr. Calden's jumping up to that one.
No, ma'am, Ms. Kriegel. Economic disadvantage is not an automatic indicator of at-risk.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I printed out that list, though, because I know you asked me a question last year, too, about at-risk, so I do have that. Anybody else?
Ms. Hilburn, I appreciate you mentioning also that that the taper is an apples to apples comparison. And I think we say this every year. You know, you see magazines and newspapers come out with all these, listen to us, we know, who has the best schools and all that, but this is the only place where you can
And it's
really
truly,
do that.
you have to compare the apples, and oranges. And I actually did a study with our report card that we're doing right now for the district and pulled districts that were just like us. There's 5 of them in the state that are like us. When you look at all these demographics and then you look at size and those different things. And so it's a good comparison when you compare to those schools too, or those districts.
I want to add in, and just in the short time I've been here, just such a deep appreciation for Ms. Hilburn and what she does. The way that this is laid out, it's very easy to understand and comprehend and see how it is that our district is performing. I very much want to just give you kudos for your hard work in that. And Dawn has been invaluable as we're working on this balanced scorecard that I've been updating y'all on each month. So great work.
Thank you, Dr. Hollingsworth. Thank you, board.
Thank you. At this time, are there any individuals who would like to speak concerning the taper report? Going once? Twice? Okay. We will now close the public hearing portion of the meeting. Moving on to item 8, reports. Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. As I do each month, I want to give you all an update on where we are relative to our enrollment and our ADA. Our enrollment is down to 10,135. You can see where we were at the end of January. That's at the end of February is what I'm giving you this current data on. That's pretty typical. As the school year progresses, you'll see a loss of enrollment. You're going to peak around October in schools, and then as the year progresses, you'll see a slight decline. That's very, very normal. That puts us right in line with what you would expect to see. Our ADA did jump back. That end of January, y'all will recall, was that Omicron variant that hit us so hard there for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and we seem to have bounced back nicely from that, and we're very pleased. I wanted to give y'all an update. Y'all know we've begun the work of our long-range planning committee, and that is about 75 community members, staff members, even students, business leaders, and others who have come together for the purpose of creating a long-range facilities plan. I wanted to share this particular slide with you because it's the one that President Autry shared at the very beginning of the committee's work. And this is the charge that went to that committee. That committee is going to create a 10-plus year plan to bring to y'all for approval, hopefully, by the end of this calendar year. So we hope to, by December of 2022, to bring to you that 10-plus year plan. But this is the charge that was given to the committee to represent the priorities, expectations, and values of our community, consider the needs of all students in Waxahachie ISD, use facts and data to make informed decisions, strive for equality of facilities, not defined as being the same, but as supporting common educational goals for the district, recommending a program that meets the district's building capacity needs and extends the life of facilities. That's a really important one. It's not just about, hey, what new things are we going to build? It's about how are we caring for and best using the buildings that we have. And then understanding the district's finances to develop long and short-term goals that are fiscally sound. And that's what I want to show you is a couple of slides. This is one that came from Mr. Calden's update to our long-range planning committee. He gave them a School Finance 101 presentation, and he did an outstanding job. School finance is a very complicated animal because the state makes it very complicated. And so Mr. Calden did a great job explaining it. And this is one highlight that really, I think, tells the story as to why we need a long-range facilities plan is that's our projected enrollment. And so you see where we are in 2022 and where we anticipate to be by 2032, over 17,000 students in Waxahachie ISD. And so we can all see evidence of that because we live here. We can see it just driving around our community. Just an update on our balanced scorecard. We plan to bring to y'all that balanced scorecard in part in April. We'll give you an update. Dr. Gibson will be present to give y'all an update on our progress. We've been working very hard with our campus leaders and our district leaders to develop that. And what it does is it takes these big campus improvement plans, our big district improvement plans, and it really narrows our goals. It narrows our focus. And we'll have 4 priority areas. One will be student growth. One will be honoring and supporting staff. One on customer outcomes. That is, how well do we serve our families and our community? And then financial outcomes. How are we minding the store when it comes to our finances? And also, how are we handling buildings and growth? Okay? And then finally, I want y'all to be aware, this is certainly a topic that y'all are very well aware of. We have a number of vacancies right now at Waxahachie High School. I have been meeting weekly with a team that includes our athletic director, our high school principal, and several other key folks as we are getting our plans in place to hire outstanding candidates for these open positions. Now, I want to remind everybody, and you can ask the individuals who are retiring, but for the most part, most of these individuals are retiring because they're just at that place in their career. And they've just hit us all at once because we had several of our key head coaching positions that were of retirement age. Our process in brief is we are widely publicizing those openings. For example, we've already opened our head girls basketball coaches position. That's being publicized on the Texas Girls Coaches Association, Texas High School Coaches Association, on our WISD vacancy page, which also, Ms. James, correct me, also ties in with Region 10s. Isn't that correct? Okay. So we're widely publicizing those. In addition to that, we reach out individually. If you know people, that's a lot of the time. That's some of the best ways that we hire some of the very best people. We reach out to people we know who could possibly be interested in these positions. We will have a screening process that will involve the high school principal, our athletic coordinators, and our athletic director, as well as Ms. James, our chief human resources officer. And then we'll have step 3 is that committee interview process. So the screening process will take, it's not unusual for these high profile positions. We may get 80 to 100 applications, okay? Now, some of those folks will be completely unqualified to be a head coach. You'll get, sometimes you get assistant middle school coaches who've been coaching for 2 years. They're not ready. They're not ready to be in that kind of position. So we'll narrow the focus and we'll bring about 8 to 10 candidates to that committee interview. And that committee will be inclusive of staff and community members. And then they will narrow that down to probably 2 or 3 finalists. And those 2 or 3 finalists then will come and interview with myself, with Ms. James, with our athletic director, and with Dr. Ada. And that'll be really that final phase of that interview process. But we've put together timelines on each of these positions. So any questions that y'all have about that? Okay, thank y'all very much. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, your next item on the reports will be school choice update, the Marvin Biomedical Academy. Mr. Bennick and Ms. Watt.
Good evening, Board of Trustees and Dr. Hollingsworth. We value choices because they make us unique and are critical to learning. Currently, we have 4 choice schools in the district, of course, Global Early College High School, Wildman STEAM Academy, and 2 dual language programs at Dunaway and Wedgeworth. We recently sent out a survey to our elementary dual language parents to gauge their interest in expanding dual language to the junior high level. The results of the survey align perfectly with our core value of choice. We are now working to expand the dual language program and implement programming at the junior high level. In addition, on February 28th, we announced to the Marvin Elementary staff the transition of the Marvin campus to Marvin Biomedical Academy. Principal Karen Polk is here tonight to update the board on the progress of this exciting transition. Ms. Polk?
Good evening, Board and Dr. Hollingsworth. It's so great to be with you guys this evening. It is my honor to share with you about Marvin Elementary's journey to becoming Marvin Biomedical Academy. This journey truly exhibits our vision to be a district where innovation thrives and growth is limitless. As Ms. Mott referenced earlier, that we did the survey among elementary families, and overwhelmingly our community responded that STEM with a health science focus was their first choice. So, as a result, we have our next school of choice to open fall of 2022. And there we go. So I present Marvin Biomedical Academy. We will serve pre-K through 5th grade students as a Zone Plus campus. So students who live in Marvin's attendance zone will continue to call Marvin their home campus. We will also have lottery seats available via application in grades K through 5. The kindergarten lottery is currently open, and we have approximately 50 applicants to date. The 1st through 5th grade lottery will open on April 18th. Also, at Marvin Biomedical Academy, we will engage in STEM, health science, and biomedical science-focused learning environments. We will also be researching and study the structure and behaviors of living organisms, as well as stimulate the curiosity about the wonders of science. So some examples of what this learning may look like in the classroom through the biomedical lens is such as in reading, when we're researching and presenting a unit on penguins, students can interact with a native Texan bird, such as this duck you see in this picture, and compare and contrast the duck with the penguins through observation. Also, in 4th grade is learning in math about angles. We can tie in careers of biomedicine and health with how orthopedic careers use angles when looking at the bones. And through an interactive garden, students will learn basic needs of plants and the importance of plants to our health. When 5th graders are learning about force and motion, they can design and create a mechanical hand using everyday materials, as well as incorporate robotics and coding. So right now we're preparing our staff in our campus. Administrators and teachers K through 5 have either completed their NICE, National Institute of STEM Education certification, or will complete it in May. We also have a partnership with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Master Gardeners, and they're working with our 3rd grade classes and meet with them once a week and have started the garden out in our courtyard. We have professional development that we are planning to make sure that we stay in alignment with our TEACS resource system, to project-based learning opportunities through STEM scopes, define STEM and define careers, the SAMR model for tech integration, as well as coding. And we'll be dedicating time for campus team building and planning through the lens of STEM, health science, and biomedicine. And this Thursday evening, from 6 to 8 p.m., we are hosting our community event to showcase what Marvin Biomedical Academy will include, and we'd love to see you there.
And board, just one final note of interest here for the Marvin Biomedical Academy. This is a graph showing the applications so far for kindergarten. We opened that application on a Tuesday afternoon, and by 7 o'clock Tuesday night, we had 25 applicants already in there. We now have over 40 as of last count, and I just made this quick graph to show you where those applicants are coming from across the district. So they're pretty evenly distributed, but in addition, there are 3 kiddos currently at pre-K Marvin that have applied for the lottery as well. They're not zoned Marvin, but they are at pre-K Marvin. And Ms. Polk greatly wants to keep her pre-K students there with her. She's expressed that to me multiple times. She loves those little pre-Ks and wants them back with her. But I just thought it would be of interest to see where our students are coming from, where the applications are coming from, as we do want to pull some of the overcrowding off our other campuses. It looks like it's working great, doing exactly what we anticipated and hoped that it would do. Can we answer any questions about our new school of choice?
I want to try to put you on the spot.
Okay.
So pre-K, obviously you have to qualify for pre-K. But
Correct.
if you live in the Marvin zone, you're going to go to Marvin?
Yes, and that's how it works right now. Any pre-K student that qualifies is already in the Marvin zone, they're attending Marvin. Now, after that, we will have to do, we'll let them list their preference, because we have 3 campuses where we offer pre-K. Northside will still have some pre-K, Turner main campus, of course, does, and now Marvin. So if you're not in the Marvin zone, then we'll have to timestamp everything we do anyway, as it comes in and what their preference of campus is. Okay. We always are very willing to help parents out. You know, if you work on a certain side of town and you need your kiddo to be at the north side pre-K, we want to help parents out as much as we can. We'll follow that same process as we fill Marvin, because it's going to be a very high interest place. Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Mott, you talked too long, so I knew, so I came up with the question.
Uh-oh.
I do not, I'm just kidding. I do not see Turner pre-K on here. Did nobody apply?
Well,
from Turner?
they would revert back to their home campus. So on the application, we ask them, what is your home campus? So if there's a pre-K kiddo at Turner, their home campus may be Simpson. So that's going to reflect on here. Yes.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank
it's
you.
what their home campus is in Turner.
Right, I understand now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good question. Anything else?
So can a kid older than kindergarten apply, or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we are ready to close down. It's getting close to closing down the window for kinder applications, and then we will open up 1st through 5th. We're following the same timeline that Wildman follows for their applications. So 1st through 5th is coming up next. And I will update
Because
you
I was
next
wondering if it was a curriculum thing to where, if they came in the third grade, they would miss 2 years of that curriculum or?
No, they're perfectly fine. We follow the TRS curriculum just like every other campus in the district does. This is just an enhancement of that, looking through that lens of biomedical.
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's one that's come up. So every kid in Waxahachie ISD in the fourth grade studies Texas history for the first time. They hit it again in seventh, but they study Texas history. So when it comes time to study the Alamo, at Marvin Biomedical Academy, we might look at what were the major medical innovations taking place in 1836 in Texas at that time. And so you could draw parallels between biomedical and what they're already studying in Texas history. Just one example of hundreds.
Yes.
I want to really say big kudos to Ms. Mott, but particularly to Ms. Polk. Ms. Polk, from the very get-go, when we began to ruminate on this idea, she started researching left and right. She found schools throughout the United States. There aren't many, y'all, specific to biomedicine. And so it really, it charts out a pretty unique path for Waxahachie ISD, but it would not have happened without her, taking the ball and running with it. So great work, Ms. Polk. Very excited about it. Yeah.
Okay, next item is update on district participation at the Texas COVID Learning Accelerations Supports, T-Class. Beneker?
Good evening, Board. Dr. Hollingsworth. We want to come and give you an update tonight on the district's participation in the Texas COVID Learning Acceleration Supports, or otherwise known as T-Class grant. I've got Ms. Stacy Johnson up here who's going to go through the information with you tonight.
All right. Good evening, Board and Dr. Hollingsworth. This evening, I get to share about the T-Class and the educator pipeline in Waxahachie ISD. We received over $8 million in ESSER funds from the state and from the government. In addition to this allotment, we chose to apply for the Texas COVID Learning Acceleration Support Grant, also known as T-Class. What the state did was kind of bundle several smaller grants under one big umbrella, and some of these grants had already existed, some are new to us, especially here in Waxahachie. So we were awarded $2.2 million to support instruction and further develop our educator pipeline. So the learning supports and resources that we received underneath the T-Class grant included decodable text, which will be coming to classrooms very soon for teachers to utilize with our younger students, access to websites that are going to support House Bill 4545 and filling the learning gaps that some of our students have, and then also access to the Texas College Bridge platform for the high school students, and then additional tutoring supports. In addition to that, a big part of this grant is centered around supporting and growing our current staff here in the district, which is my favorite part. So the investment in our district's greatest assets, which is our staff, is key to increasing capacity. So through this grant, we are able to award up to $18,000 for 4 paraprofessionals to complete their teaching degrees. And this is the Grow Your Own grant that was mentioned earlier by Ms. Griffith. So these are paraprofessionals. These funds cover their tuition, their books, and then they're also part of a cohort in the district and get additional supports from the mentor program as they move through their program and move into their classroom. In addition to that, we are also able to build the pipeline by having 4 teachers at Global High School receive up to $25,000 to complete their master's degree. It covers their tuition and books, and this enables them to teach additional dual credit courses at Global High School and be able to use our district teachers. Additionally, we were able to partner with TAMU Commerce for a teacher residency program, and this one is new to the district. We will be able to host up to 20 student teachers coming up in this next school year and in the year after. These student teachers have to be part of the TAMU Commerce program and choose Waxahachie as where they want to do their student teaching. So once we have that list, we will be matching them with our finest, and they will be coming to our district during that entire school year to see the start to finish of what a classroom really looks like. And then the best part for them is that they receive a $20,000 stipend to cover their costs as they're student teaching, which is a very great gift for many of them. So as far as the numbers are concerned, we're not sure exactly how many we're going to have yet, because through COVID, some of our teacher prep programs have also taken a hit as far as the number of students enrolled. We know that we will have at least 7 in the upcoming school year, but they were still getting some applications in, so that number could grow. And then the final part of this current pipeline as we grow our own people is something I wish I had had when completing my master's to become a principal, and it is the principal residency grant. And this is separate from T-Class. This was a competitive grant that we applied for first last year and received, and we're able to place 2 of our best teachers on campuses as functioning assistant principals. They have the resident administrator title and are able to learn underneath our mentor principals as they also go through coursework at the same time. So it's a pretty intense program, and then when they're finished, they will be ready to apply for positions here in Waxahachie ISD, and we have them with us this evening.
We do, and I want to thank Mr. Day and Mr. Zant in the back. They have poured into these people, and they're growing our leadership pipeline. Without them putting the time into these 2 individuals that we asked to come tonight, I don't think that they could do the work that they're doing, but I know one of them is going to fight tooth and nail to keep his principal resident on his campus. So we asked the 2 residents to come tonight just to acknowledge them for the work that they've done. Mr. Thompson and Ms. Wittenberger in the back there from Findlay Junior High and from Wedgeworth Elementary. I didn't put them into the formal recognition, but I wanted to acknowledge them again. They're going through their master's program right now and doing this job full time, and it's a huge undertaking, I know, to wrap this up in 12 months, but they've been fantastic throughout the whole process, and it's been great to see them in this leadership role. So thank you very much.
I can tell you, just going on campuses and watching the 2 of them interact with those administrative teams, they are fully embraced by those administration, and it's really cool to see. Good work. Thank you both.
They're even going to present at iNation tomorrow, so they have presentations that they will be sharing with our teachers as well. And the program was so successful that we applied again this year and were awarded over $500,000 for this grant and hope to place up to 6 new residents on our campuses for the next year. So it's exciting, to see people meeting their goals and achieving their dreams, and so we appreciate your support. Thank you.
Good work.
Okay, next item, D, Dr. Averitt. Supporting departments will provide a CCMR update for WISD. Dr. Averitt and crew.
Yes, that's a treat. Thank you, Board, Dr. Hollingsworth. It's always great to be able to be up in front of you. It's even greater tonight that I get to be up in front of you because it's my first day back at work in a little while, and I'm really excited to be back. I missed being here at work, and I'm feeling much better. So for all the people that sent things or sent notes or called me or left me alone, thank you to everybody.
We're glad you're back, Dr. Averitt.
I'm glad to be back, and I miss my folks. CCMR stands for College and Career Readiness. College and Career and Military Readiness accounts for 40% of our district's rating, so it is a huge deal. And it all happens, for the most part, at the high school. That's where it kind of ends up, at our high schools. This is a team effort, though, and I have with me Ashley Treat, who's our CTE director. But this is a group of folks across our district. It's CTE. It's all the teachers that she supervises. It's all the resources that she gets for them so they can train our students the best that they can train them and get them ready for their test. It's our secondary campuses, it's our principals who are making sure that our kids are in the right classes. It's our advanced academics folks, Miss Abity, Miss Smithy, who are working with our teachers to get our kids prepared to take their AP test or their dual credit classes. It's our counseling staff who works with our students to make sure they're enrolled in the right classes. And of course, it's our assessment and accountability data person. We talked with Ms. Hilburn earlier tonight. She's key in this to make sure that we're keeping up with all these numbers, because there's a lot of numbers there. So it is a team effort district-wide. There's several different ways you can earn a CCMR point. They're listed up there on the board. The only two that we do not currently offer in WISD is UT or Texas Tech on-ramps. There's two different universities that offer that system. And we're not an IB school, we're an AP school. But every other way up there to get a CCMR point, we offer that here in Waxahachie. And we have to watch things carefully. This is one of those kind of things that we have to pay attention. For example, one of the ways up there is making sure that any of our students who may be in special education, that they graduate with the right IEP and they get the right kind of job training, so they can get that training for themselves, and also they earn that CCMR point for their school. So it does require attention to detail. Overview where we are right now. Okay, so we have 640 seniors district-wide. 305 of them are currently without a CCMR indicator. 50 students have earned their CCMR through AP courses, 146 through dual credit, 217, and I want to say this is global and WHS combined, okay, and our high school of choice folks. 186 have earned industry-based certifications, and 152 seniors without a CCMR credit, but they're enrolled in a course that leads to a CCMR opportunity. One of the things that's important to note is that a lot of these certification tests that students can take, they can't take them until they're 18 years old, okay? And so we know that seniors are going to be hitting there. I'm a late March birthday myself, so I would not have been able to do that until after, March 28th when I was a senior. So that's where that falls. Here's just another graph that kind of shows where we are. Currently, Waxahachie High School is at 53%. Their seniors, global is at 89%. Obviously, we know that global students are enrolled in that early college where they're going to get their CCMR point through their dual credit. They're also going to make it to their TSIA, okay? We know that in 1920, I believe that's the indicator we looked at, that's a lagging indicator. We were at about 61%. So we feel confident that we're going to get past that 53 and get past where we were on the last one. A lot of different opportunities that we have going on. One of the things that happened recently was school day SAT, ACT. Why is that beneficial to our kids? They don't have to come up here on a Saturday or go somewhere else. We're going to give them the test right there on their campus, okay? And that happened right before spring break. Was ACT and SAT. So they could choose which one they wanted to take, or they could take them both. We offer TSI testing on our campuses. Why is that important? Well, number one, it saves our students a whole lot of money, and it happens right there. They don't have to go to the Vero campus. The TSI test per unit is pretty inexpensive, and we cover the cost for that versus sending them off our campus. Also, we offer those CTs, industry-based certification testing on our campus throughout the year. That's going to keep happening going through April. One of the things that our college and career readiness coordinators worked out with our high school is they got permission for our upper level, junior and senior level teachers to take the TSI in math and reading so they could get a look at what that test looks like. Since that point, they have improved their passing rates for our kids in Algebra 2 and English 3 significantly, because now our teachers really know what's on that test and how to prepare those kids to take that test. A lot of people think the accountability is over after Algebra 1 or English 1 and 2 or Biology or U.S. History. That's not the case, because CCMR makes it the case that we have to continue to look at accountability for those upper level kids. Again, May, we'll see dual credit completion. Kids that are in dual credit class will be finishing those. AP testing happens in May. Only negative part about AP testing is we don't get the results until the middle of July, okay? We'll continue our TSI testing, and we'll continue our CTE-based certification testing. That's what's going on in CCMR, and that's where we are right now. I feel good about where we are, and I think both our high schools have taken it seriously and are following our kids, and they're paying attention to detail. Any questions for you? I know I'm standing between you and the consent agenda and the weather, so.
No questions? Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our consent agenda board, we have items A through G. We can can take those all in one motion, or if there's one you would like to remove for individual discussion, however you would like to move forward.
I make a motion, Mr. President, that we approve consent agenda items A through G.
Motion, is there a second? Motion by Mr. Starnader, second by Mr. Schofield. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Moving on to action items. Action item A, consideration, possible action to award the E-rate Category 2 bid to NetSync Network Solutions in the amount not to exceed $25,801. Joe Daniel, you presenting that one?
Board, Dr. Hollingsworth, I'm going to be brief. So the E-rate that we decided to proceed with this year is just for the monitoring. NetSync's a company we've been working with many years. Obviously, it's a cost benefit. We had 2 bids come in. This one was the most cost effective. And non-award the other ones, we want to wait, take another year. The equipment is in good shape. There's no sense in doing it right now. We want to take a year and just spend our time seeing exactly what we need. Any questions?
Okay. Any questions for Mr. O'Daniel? Okay. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve action item A as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. McCutcheon. Second by Ms. Timmerman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Action item B, consideration with possible action to reject E-rate Category 2 solicitations. Mr. O'Daniel presented that also in his rhetoric there. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve action item B. Motion by Mr. Schofield.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Action item C, consideration, possible action to approve the memorandum of understanding with Texas A&M University Commerce and the Department of Curriculum and Instruction with Waxahachie ISD. Baker?
Thank you. So this is an extension of what we talked about earlier with the T-class grant. So we would like to enter into an agreement with Texas A&M University Commerce and use the funds that came from the T-class grant to pay these teacher residents to come and work here in the district for us. So this MOU will allow us to work with Texas A&M University Commerce, and hopefully, I think we said we have 7 students signed up so far. Would love to have 20, but this will allow us to continue this agreement with the university for the next couple of years. So,
Questions for Mr. Baker? Okay. Motion to approve action item C as presented. Motion by Mr. Schofield.
Second.
Second by Ms. Kriegel. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Action item D, consideration and action to approve a resolution to pay staff during an emergency closure on February 24th, 2022. This is becoming standard practice.
As bad weather is rolling in this evening, thank you, Mr. President. Yes, at our previous board meeting, you approved a resolution to pay our staff for an early February closure. This past month, on February 24th, we had to have another emergency closure. In fact, had to have an early release on February 23rd with threat of severe weather, including thunder sleet to our west. But we missed all of school on February 24th. We have enough minutes due to the calendar you approved that we do not need to utilize any of our bad weather school days, meaning there will be no school on Good Friday. But to pay our staff, we either need to, for our 187, 197, 207, 226 employees, have an extra day on a Saturday or holiday, or because we don't have any identified needs to have extra professional development on those days, we urge the board to approve a resolution to pay our staff in lieu of work that day. So tonight before you, under the authority of EB Local, we urge approval of a resolution to pay our staff for the day they missed on February 24th.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Kriegel. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Schofield. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Now I need a motion to adjourn. It's by Mr. Schofield. Second by Ms. Timmerman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Everybody get home safely.